Okay, Bitcoin's in a very interesting spot at the moment. If I'm just gonna recap very quickly, very quickly. If you watched last video, you would know two videos ago I called the bottom here and I was very bullish, but we didn't come to my targets, and I flipped bearish right on this candle, and I explained why in my last video if you want to figure it out. So I called the bottom, I called the top. So far going well. Okay, what's going on here? Because it's very interesting. Bitcoin finally had a range after going down the entire time. Now, we haven't hit my short target. However, because we have a range, we now have to reevaluate. We can't just keep poking at the bear, right? So, this local range, you have a Model 2 or a Model 1 accumulation, whichever way you want to look at it. You either have a Model 1 like this, which is 3 taps to the low, or you have a Model 2, or some people call it inverse head and shoulders, blah, 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 whatever retail like to call it, other retail. Now, this is a good point to bounce. I do really like this. However, and it might confirm now, however, because you flip structure back down, and this is a Model 2 distribution, now, if we fail to come above these highs or at least break with conviction, to me, that's more suggesting that this huge accumulation can't fight against the teeny tiny distribution. To me, that would more suggest that we're probably coming to the original short target that we had in mind a couple videos ago. But if we do come above these highs up here, then that is 100% a potential relong zone. I personally, again, I wouldn't long a retest if price comes down now because that's risky as fuck because this distribution's holding. However, if you're already in, which I am, but that doesn't matter. My positions don't matter. I'm just giving TA. However, if you break above this high, again, that's now showing that the accumulation is actually holding. It's actually a good low. It's a solid low. So now, yes, this whole area above a supply. It's technically a point of interest, and it's technically a distributive supply chain. However, because this would be a very good low, I wouldn't really be looking for shorts in the zone. Maybe scalp shorts, but these are very risky in these cases. Normally, these provide you if it gives a deep pullback, it gives you a very good continuation along if you missed it, or a good addition point. Apart from that, Bitcoin really hasn't done anything since I said it's most likely flipping bearish right around here. After that, it's done nothing. There's no zone I'm really worried about on the way up because realistically, all we have above us is liquidity and we have liquidations as a target. We don't really have many liquidations below us as a target because they've already been swept, at least from when I last checked the heat map. Again, if we fail to come above this high, short target is still ideally this zone. We have had a deep pullback around like 69, 68%. Now, most of the pullbacks in this range have been about 70 to 80%, 85%. One of them, the last one being the most shallow one. But if it keeps following that trend, this is actually a decent place to bounce, or at least a zone below us. So we're in a good spot with generally how the range is trending in itself, this high time frame range. And that's about it. There's really nothing else to Bitcoin. I think we're in a good spot for a bounce soon. Now, what happens if we fail this zone as a whole? I mean, I'd be a bit worried. You do have this zone, but I'd be more inclined into thinking that this will just be a lower high for a lower low. And we're actually probably going to be coming to sweep out these lows, and it's going to be one of those July capitulations that happen before you carry on, and then August out end of July will probably sweep June's high again. I think that's the only part of my TA I really have for the higher time frame. There's not really a lot to get from it. We'll get more as price gives us more, but at the moment I'm bullish. I don't have a reason to be short until I mean shorts aren't even really safe for me at the moment. Maybe if I get a really good short up here, my range for a long time, maybe I'll cancel my long. Maybe I'll TP a little bit and I'll consider shorting. I think it's a good spot to short if you're not in a position. It's definitely good to be neutral here until this high goes. But that's about it. I think Bitcoin's in a good spot for a potential bouncer.